Hey guys, welcome to SpeakAudibly.com. My name is Mike B. And I'm here with my son. We're playing at the dog park here. It's amazing. Hey guys, Mike B. Wills back at you again. Here we go. I was gonna tell you guys when it comes to like miscommunications, right? I mean, we're not all like perfect conversationalists, you know. We don't always listen intently like we should, especially men, husbands. Sorry, but yeah. So I'm just gonna explain to you my situation, you know, our story here between me and my wife. So on Monday, my wife found this chair online that she wanted to go pick up. Now, as of right now, we have a Corolla. Like, that's our family car. We don't have a SUV or a truck, right? And my wife wanted to go get this chair, and it was obviously too big for the Corolla. You know, she knew that. She let me know. And we're thinking, okay, so what do we need to do to be able to go pick this thing up, right? And she began to kind of brainstorm, and she said, hey, well, before we spend any money, you know, renting a U-Haul or something, let's figure out if we have any friends or anyone, you know, who has a vehicle that we can use. So I said, okay, great, you know. Now, that's the last thing I heard, right, was that, hey, we're going to see if we know anyone with a big enough vehicle that maybe we can borrow to go pick up this chair. So yesterday comes around, Tuesday that is, and she says, hey, don't forget, tomorrow we're getting that chair. Now, in that moment, we didn't actually discuss anything different than picking it up in a friend's vehicle, right? And so I thought, right? And so now here we are today, the day that we are to go and pick up this chair. And she, you know, I'm leaving work, and she says, hey, remember, we're going to get that chair today. And my thought is, okay, cool. How are we picking it up? In her face. You know, men, when that female, whether it be your mom, your grandmother, your aunt, your girlfriend, your wife, a good friend, when she gives you that look, I mean, it's that look. Like, I don't even know if I, as a man, I don't even know if I can truly give the look. I'm trying. No, I can't. I don't know. She gave me that look, though. That look that only women can give, that makes your heart fall into, like, your stomach. And you're just like, oh, like, I messed up. Like, I don't exactly understand how I messed up. And she said, I thought you were renting the U-Haul. And I said, oh, okay. Yeah, I thought we were, you know, using some sort of friend's vehicle. That's the last thing I heard, you know. And of course, I use U-Hauls quite often, and the place down the street from our house that I go to, you know, I mean, they make it very easy to rent, and so that's what I did, you know. I simply rented from them. It was real quick, real easy, and now here we are, obviously, as you can tell, I'm in a U-Haul, right? But that could have went so much worse, right? Because the way that normally goes is she gets mad, she gives the eye, she says, hey, I thought you were renting a U-Haul. Then as men, we got to protect our pride, right? And we say, hey, like, you said you was going to get a friend to do it. And she's like, no, the last thing I said was we're getting a U-Haul. And then you kind of go back and forth, and then it turns into something different, right? Just like that time when you said that you was going to take your son to the park, but you fell asleep because you was tired, and you're like, man, I have to work all day. I'm working all day. And then it just gets, but when you understand that things always work out. You begin to live life and have conversations with people, whether it be your spouse or anyone else, out of a certain level of positivity. Because, you know, it always works out. Now, it may not always work out the way that you want it to work out, but it always works out. I feel like I have to say that because people are like, no, things don't always work out. I'll say it again. It does not always work out the way that you wanted it to, or maybe that you thought it would work out, but it always works out. All right? Let me explain. Say you're a business owner, right? Or you have a small company or agency, and you have a customer that's upset because of something that was done, right? You would love for it to work out in a way, and often it does, where the customer simply wants to be heard. They want you to know that they're unhappy with something, and sometimes they're not even looking for you to compensate them for the feeling or the experience they had. They just want you to know that it happened, and you listen intently, you show them what you care, and maybe you throw a little extra, a little freebie at them, right? Perfectly fine. It works out. They continue to be a customer, great relationship, you continue to build, great. But other times, you hear the dreaded words, I will no longer be using your services. If you're a service-based company, that is, right? And all I can say is, it worked out, right? Either A, it worked out in a way that you still have a great relationship and you're still building, and you simply had to listen, you know, to your customer, which you should be doing anyways. As a customer to many different places, you should be listening anyways. Or, you know, you have an opportunity to gain a new customer in place of the one that just left, right? Right? It's the positivity, and that's really what I wanted to communicate, I think, is just the fact that it always works out. That is the silver lining, right? I mean, I'm grateful for where I am right now in my life. I'm continuing to grow, continuing to learn. But one of the biggest things that I've understood is that the mindset, my perspective on positivity has to be just that, positive. Because when I know that it always works out, I have no fear, and I mean, there's no other alternative, right? There is no negative side of this. So, because I always challenge you guys, that is my challenge to you. My challenge to you is to begin to gain the understanding and the mindset that it always works out. So the next time that something happens to you, whether good or bad, say to yourself, man, it always works out, good or bad. So even the next great thing that happens, make sure you throw it out into the atmosphere, into the universe, right? It always works out.